Okay, so we got a number of economic stories, although you got a bit more of political crossfires, but the economy seems to be at the center of it all. If you see the brickbat between the executive and the legislature over the budget, it's all about the state of the economy. So that's, I take that to the chief economist at Vertiva Capital Management, Michael Famuroti. He's joining us from downtown Lagos on Skype. Good morning, Michael, and hope you had a very nice weekend. My first story, even though the soft side of things is today's deadline, FIFA for Nigeria to put its house in order and try to avoid sanctions. What's your take? Should we wait for FIFA's hard knock, or we should just do the needful before sunset today?
Morning, pleasure to be here. The FIFA issue is one that has been long running, really. It does make you tired about the situation with sports in Nigeria. So if people remember, actually, as far back as 2010, just after the World Cup, FIFA threatened to ban Nigeria. That again was quickly washed away. And subsequently, we've had a number of issues with the Global Footballing Federation, and the challenge really is that we haven't been able to get our house in order. I've heard a number of people say that they want us to get punished so that we learn a lesson. I'm not sure punishment is what makes Nigeria learn its lessons. So my take really is that I'm hopeful that we can avoid any severe punishment and we can adhere to the requirements that they want before they take any action. But it's a shame to see, just after the feel-good factor of the World Cup, it's a shame to see how things have gotten.
Yeah. I'm not much of a football fan, by the way. Anyway, I'm not sure that's not upsetting to some of my folks out there like you. But again, I just watch you guys, and sometimes I get worried when there's so much brickbat in the glass house. That's what they called NFA in those days. Was it? Is it still called glass house?
I'm not sure anymore, but yes, I'm familiar with that phrase from the past.
Yes, I'm sure the glass house have a lot of holes now. The glass house has not been broken. Now, that's my joke. Tomorrow is a public holiday for you folks and Wednesday. I might as well have my fun today because I'm going to be still here, sitting here tomorrow and Wednesday. So I envy you folks who already looks like you're dressed down for a week-long holiday. But let's talk about economy. This is a big story. What do you make of the executive legislature crossfires, war of words over budget 2018, whether it's the main budget or the supplementary budget, which has to do with the elections, which is a very crucial and important economic milestone if you look at elections that way on our calendar every 4 years?
Yes, so I guess the battle between the two groups is, again, it's long-standing. It doesn't pertain particularly to either the supplementary or the original budget, but stems really as far back as 2015 with the constitution or the setup of the current National Assembly with the Senate president at the top. Right from then, things have never been straightforward between the two parties. And the unfortunate thing is that in the last 18 months or so, we've seen economic effects of that, whether it's the appointment of new monetary policy committee members or delayed budget passage and so on. So it's something that we're hoping that post-2019 or post-2019 elections we have behind us, because although it's difficult to quantify the effects, it's clear that it is not beneficial for the economy, and the statistician general was in the news at the weekend, and he spoke about the fact that our economy hasn't really picked up from recession as quickly as one would have hoped. And some of these political issues have contributed probably to weighing on the situation. So we just hope that it's something that we'll soon have behind us.
Yeah, we need to resolve these budgetary issues once and for all. So how much impact do you think this delayed budget? This is August, and there's no real clarity yet as to where we're going in impact on business and the markets.
So, if you're referring to the supplementary budget, I think the real key there is the funding for the elections. I think, however it's resolved, it's clear that elections will happen, they will be funded, and it's probably a case of which party budgets first. And that may come down to which party has more leverage at the time, and also which has the more grander or long-term ambitions, right? But ultimately, the elections are going to happen, they are going to be funded, and somehow we are going to have to either pass that bill or find emergency funding for the elections.
But again, if you look at the economic data, let's step into the economic data and see what we have on tap. The second quarter GDP, next week, Monday, all bearing any unforeseen occurrences, we expect that to be on the street. We have the capital importation report will come on Wednesday, while the rest of the markets will be on holiday. So we'll have quite a few of this. Do you think this will give the market any fillip, as it were, as we wrap up the month by the end of next week?
Yeah, so like I said, we already have indications about how GDP have performed. Our expectation is for 1.6% year-on-year GDP growth. That's lower than 2.0 recorded in Q1. And the main reason really is the fact that oil production actually declined quite materially over the last quarter. We recall speaking about challenges with Forcados loadings and the Nemba Creek trunk line. So we're not particularly optimistic about GDP growth. Capital importation, similar. We know that Q2 was when we saw a lot of capital flights, where we saw a lot of pressure in emerging markets, whether it's currencies or the equity space. So we are not particularly hopeful that Q2 18 capital import numbers will flatten out. So by and by, the economic numbers coming out should be okay, but I doubt they're going to provide any fillip to the general market sentiment that we've been observing so far.
We're right now in the middle of Q3, Michael. So do you see any indication that Q3 is likely going to be different from Q2?
So in terms of the market, Q2 hasn't fared better. I think we're down maybe about 6 to 7% so far this quarter. The market hasn't done very well. We've started seeing a bit of pressure on FX.